Okay, so the season 22 early access gameplay stuff is starting to come out from all the creators out there. And I've gone through it once, but I want to go through it again and kind of give my reactions to what I've seen. This is Gaming Merchant's video, and if you haven't, you should check him out. He's pretty on the ball with all this stuff. So let's get it started, and I will pause at various points and let you know my thoughts.
Apex Legends Season 22 Shockwave has a new map, Akimbo, an aim assist nerf, legend meta changes, shotgun buffs, ramen shops, new loot bins, Nessie floaties, revival mode, straight shot, bot royale, a new battle pass system, new stat tracker system, franchise chicken shops, more weapon balancing, and crypto can do this now. Yeah, Apex Legends Season 22 Shockwave is a huge shakeup again.
Okay, so first off, yeah, obviously that's a lot of stuff. It is a huge shakeup. So far, I don't know, like a lot of that stuff seems like it could be cool. A lot of that stuff I'm like, kind of why? But let's get into it more.
And Apex Legends feels like a completely different
An arm shield on Rampart here. That's a buff.
experience all over again. This time changes are being made especially to help the new player experience, and there are so many new gameplay changes it's hard to know what.
Okay, so new player experience stuff I'm all for. Gameplay changes I'm always a little leery of. A lot of the gameplay stuff was kind of right in the pocket this past season 21, so we'll see what these changes are and how they're going to affect the rest of us.
Where to start. So let's try and focus on the fun new stuff before jumping into aim assist, meta changes, and a deeper delve into the new map E-District. So Akimbo weapons are here, and they feel really cool.
Okay, Akimbo, I have some friends that have been kind of lusting after that. Started out on Halo 2 with the Akimbo there, and they keep talking about how they want it here. I don't really care, but I think the way that they're doing it here is probably pretty good. Like I said, I've been through this once before, and in Halo, left trigger fired your other gun. Here, Akimbo works a little differently. Left trigger still gives you a little bit of an ADS, and right trigger fires both guns at the same time. So I like that. They haven't messed with my buttons too much.
Works on both the Mozambique and P2020. You can't mix and match though. It's either two P20s or two Mozams. When you pick up two of the same weapon, it will immediately go into Akimbo mode. The fire rate will increase, the magazine size will double, and you'll be able to auto fire. There's no aim down sights though. Instead, pressing the ADS button will have a slightly more zoomed hip fire. So Akimbo weapons are really all about that up close destruction. The P2020 felt like a super bursty hipfire SMG, whilst the Mozam kind of didn't really feel that different besides having a massive magazine counter. The cool thing though with Akimbo weapons is you just need to get one set of attachments and they'll work for both weapons. Okay, so before I go into the meta changes and new map and cosmetics, let's take...
So yeah, the other thing, one set of attachments and they work for both weapons. It seems like that would really buff the Mozam, but like he said, it really just feels like a deeper mag because the Mozam fire rate was already fairly fast, so I guess you're really not getting like double the fire rate on that. We'll see how that works out.
Take a look at the new gameplay features coming to Apex Legends Season 22 Shockwave. First though, just a quick heads up, I'm streaming again very regularly. You can see the schedule on screen. Make sure to follow.
Yeah, you guys should totally follow Gaming Merchant. He's cool.
Some BattleSense features from solos are coming to the core Battle Royale experience. When an enemy is close, they will now have a red outline, and when shooting a player, you'll see a health bar above their heads.
Okay, so I'm of two minds on this. The red outline when an enemy is close, I kind of like that. Kind of having a little bit more than... a little bit of a signal that you're actually looking at enemy rather than friendly. Things can get kind of chaotic at times. On the other hand, the health bar, I think it's just going to lead to a lot of visual clutter. We already have damage numbers, and actually we're still showing damage numbers with the health bar.
Red outline,
let's see there.
And when shooting a player, you'll see a health bar above their heads. This change has been added to help new players.
Okay, so yeah, we still have the damage numbers. Now we have, the health bar up there. Obviously, gives a lot more information. I don't know, it kind of reduces the skill there because before you kind of had to keep track of where they were low and then they pop the bat, and so you just have to knock off their shields and they're going to have low health. Here you're just going to be able to see it the entire time. Not the entire time, but when you shoot them. Like I said, I think the biggest issue for me is just the visual clutter. I want less stuff on my screen and more bad guys.
What's actually going on, and it should help us process what's going on amongst all the carnage with all the abilities in Apex these days.
See, that was weird because he let's watch that one more time. It looked like he got at the bar, and then on the second shot, he didn't. Some of those shots, he got the health bar, and some he didn't. Not sure how that's working.
Now, when the second ring has closed, all open loot bins will shut again, and their loot will be re-rolled, adding more loot to the mid and late game.
Okay, yeah, definitely a lot more loot. I wonder if the loot is going to kind of upgrade. So stuff that was white previously is going to be more likely to be blue or whatnot. Obviously, there's a lot of blue in here. Maybe that's what's going on.
At this stage, a number of legendary loot bins will be added around the map, and a single mythic loot bin. This one will appear on the map, and opening it takes some time, but well, it's really worth doing. There's also a new Battle Royale takeover mode that will be in play at the start of the season. It's called Revival. In this mode, you will respawn after you die. There will be a counter, and your teammates can deal damage.
I gotta say, I'm really a fan of the core Battle Royale mode, and all the takeovers, sometimes they're fun, but usually I don't end up playing them. Maybe they bring in new players. You guys, let me know what you think.
Get kills to reduce the timer. Once it reaches 0, you'll be brought back. There's no limit to lives, and you can keep respawning as long as you have at least one player alive. It's basically Warzone Rebirth, but Revival also has faster team revives as well, and just like in Rebirth, at the later stages of the game, respawns will stop. It's super fast.
So the other thing about limited time modes is obviously there's a certain number of people playing Apex at any time. And if you take a large number of them and put them in LTM mode, there's going to be less people playing, your regular Battle Royale or ranked. So if they're worrying about reducing player count, I think they could end up cannibalizing their player base. And if they go too far, it really depends if it brings more players in total to the game, or if you're just taking the players that would have been in one lobby and splitting them between 2 or 3.
And honestly, it could mean we can get some pretty action-packed games. Straight Shot will also be in the game. This game mode makes you spawn
Straight Shot was fun
at the start of the game.
And I'm happy to see this come back. I know my friends are going to be happy with it as well.
But don't worry, this whole feature is not in the ranked playlist. We're this far through the video and still haven't touched on meta changes or new cosmetics, but I'll get to that later because there are still new gameplay changes to talk about. We now have Bot Royale. This is you versus your teammates you always get matched up with in pubs. No, not really. It's actually you versus AI bots.
Okay, so this, obviously definitely great for new players. I remember when Fortnite brought in the bot lobbies. And it changed the game quite a bit, obviously, but it did allow people that weren't that experienced to get in there and have some fun and learn.
In the Battle Royale format, this can be played at any level, but it's designed for new players to learn the game. You don't get any experience or challenge progress or badges for playing this mode unless you're under level 10. At that point, you do make progress on your challenges and leveling, and there's also a brand new welcome pass that lets new players get to grips with the game whilst unlocking some items. The devs will also be testing some matchmaking changes this season. In some cases, matchmaking times may be slightly increased.
Okay, so look here, we got a lot of new stuff in this welcome pass, I guess, for new players, kind of like a battle pass just for new players. Interesting, kind of teaching them how to play the game. I think that's pretty good.
To make sure that you're actually fighting players around your skill level, and we should hopefully see less level 25s being thrown into pub lobbies with 3-stack Preds. That's their hope and intention anyway. Okay.
Yeah, and so I kind of paused that in the middle of what he was saying, but yeah, they're going to prioritize matching you against players at your skill level rather than getting you into a match sooner. So you may be waiting around longer, but you're less likely to be matched with people that you're either stomping all over or getting stomped on by. So I think that's a positive thing.
Okay, one final gameplay change to talk about before moving on to the meta changes, the Battle Pass, and of course the new map. This is ranked. We'll now get 2 ranked rumbles each season, and these will be at the end of each split. There will be no re-entry, and the performance will be based on your best 10 games during the rumble. And now in ranked, your RP value at the start of the new season will be determined by your current RP at the end of Upheaval.
Okay, so rumble, I kind of don't care about. So maybe some people really like it. I would rather just play regular ranked through the entire season, with a split in the middle. So I kind of don't like that all of a sudden it sounds like you can't play the regular ranked anymore. All of a sudden then you're in Rumble for the past little bit. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I could be totally wrong.
I'm not really sure how that plays out in practice, but it should mean you see less skill variance in those first few days of a ranked split. There's also some pretty big RP changes. It will now be easier to get to Platinum, Diamond, and even Masters. All players in 15th place or above will not lose RP, and some changes to RP kill values have been changed.
Okay, so that, I don't know. I'm really not a fan of that. I actually think the Season 21 ranked was really in the best spot I've ever seen it. Like just logically, I think that people in the top half of the lobby should move up and people in the bottom half should move down. So if you're saying people that are 15th or above are not moving down, I think that's just gonna, like you said, it's gonna just push everybody right up to the top. And I don't know. I'm not a fan of that. I really like the way it is right now.
So yeah, this looks like it will be
And by
another
right now, I mean
everyone
Season 21.
gets a Masters badge season. But do you know what? The last time they did that, the cheater problem was nowhere near as bad as it is now. And I think the reason is bad players didn't feel like they needed to cheat to get the rank they wanted. So in a weird
So yeah, he's right. Maybe that's going to help with the cheating problem. I have to say, I play on console, and you don't really run into cheaters. There aren't really any aimbots or wall hacks or anything like that on console. You basically just get teaming every once in a while. So probably doesn't affect me, but I think it's good for the game as a whole.
By the way, I'm kind of looking forward to the new ranked season, even if it does water down the value of the Masters badge, because I'm so fed up with cheaters. This obviously isn't a good fix for solving the cheater problem, and luckily they are planning on releasing a blog and more information about their anti-cheat efforts and being a bit more transparent with what they're doing to solve cheating in Apex, so that's pretty good. I'm looking forward to that. Alright, I think that's all of the big game mode changes out of the way. Before diving into the map, meta, and battle pass, let's talk about aim assist. It's getting nerfed. Its values are being reduced by 25% on PC. For console lobbies, nothing changes unless you squad up with a friend on PC. Most creators seem to say the changes aren't that noticeable so far, but the Apex creator community is filled with absolute roller demons, so let's wait till launch day for the community's take on it. Also,
okay, I gotta say, this obviously doesn't affect me too much. I play on console. Everybody's using roller. There's no issue there, no change there. But I gotta imagine, the competitive players on PC who have built squads around having, controller players with mouse and keyboard players going into a high dollar tournament coming up pretty soon, and having all this stuff switch around. Well, I can't imagine what that would be like. So we'll see how they feel about it.
So aim flinch is being removed for all weapons and most abilities, so that will help.
Aim flinch, I guess I don't notice it, but it's probably something I'm going to notice once it's gone. I imagine things will just feel smoother. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, but okay, they're changing things. It somewhat feels like they're changing things in order to change things, and I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Help on the PC side of things. Okay, juicy meta time. Some big changes have been made. Firstly, friendly caustic barrels finally have a different color.
That is big. My buddy mains caustic, and not being able to tell the difference between his barrels and the enemy's barrels is a big issue we've complained about since forever. Now, the only thing I will say is I would like the gas to be a different color. They've got Gibby's bubbles are different colors, whether it's friendly or enemy, and that's kind of useless. Whereas obviously caustic gas, there's probably a couple other things like that, where you want to be able to tell the difference between friendly and enemy.
Crypto has a new perk. Whoever named it deserves a raise. When in the drone, Crypto is completely invisible. I mean, this perk is ridiculous, and I love it.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's really going to improve Crypto a lot, and we'll see if people play him more.
I feel like the devs this season just took a look at the weakest legends and went, you know what, let's give them even more power. So yeah, all controller legends can now pick up all of their traps remotely. This is huge for Rampart.
Yeah, and I gotta say, that philosophy of let's take the weakest legends and buff them is much better. I'm much more in favor of buffing low-level guns or low-level legends rather than nerfing the legends that people have grown to love or the guns that people have grown to love. So I definitely prefer bringing low things up rather than bringing high things down.
There's a new controller perk as well. If you're physically in the next ring, you'll get an extra 25 shields. So you are literally 1 tier higher Evo than anybody else at all times you're in the ring. And well, just to make sure you understand, it doesn't give you more than red Evo. You can't have more than...
Man. Fighting against a Caustic, who is a controller in the ring, when he already has the fortified buff, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be really annoying. It's gonna be like fighting a Rev with his ult up.
Than 125 shields. Recon Legends get a new perk as well. When aiming down sights, all enemies will have a large red outline and at longer distances, making it easier to find and focus targets. The survey beacon has changed too. There are more of them on the map, but the scan range is not map wide anymore. It's just for a radius around the beacon. But
I'm not a fan of this. I like being able to see, like, this was my favorite perk. I like being able to see where the enemies were on the entire map and plan my rotations around that, whether I wanted to fight or whether I wanted to avoid. Making it just kind of like a local scan. It's, I don't know, what is it, like a Super Seer or Bloodhound type scan? Yeah, I hope they revert this.
The use time is faster, and the scan will keep refreshing over a 15-second period. And to balance all that, you only get 75 Evo points from it now. Rampart's got a buff.
Oh, and they reduce the Evo points as well. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that at all. It's just like a local fight helper. It's not really a strategic planning perk anymore, and you don't get as many Evo points. That's no good in my book.
Her ultimate will now charge up in chunks, just like Vantage's, which means you can get 50 Sheila bullets very quickly off drop.
That's
and
cool.
It also means if you holster your turret, it will keep regenerating more ammo over time. Vantage's perk has been updated, and Watson got a new buff, but I'm not sure what that is. We'll need to wait for the patch notes for that one. Okay, now for the weapons. The R99 is now in the care package and feels pretty beefy.
Cool.
And LMGs have been given a lot of love. All LMGs now have the reverse spread perk.
That's
from the
good.
Devotion, which means the longer
I was
you'll
really
fire,
loving the M600.
the tighter the hip fire spread
It's
will
going to
be.
improve it.
And there's a new LMG hop up too. It gives you the Gibby arm shield. with
That's
40
what we were seeing
HP
earlier.
when aiming down sights with an LMG. That was a rhyme. It wasn't intended.
Looks like it's a smaller
Shotguns
arm
got
shield,
buffed, but I don't think the
still it's
SMG
there.
meta has ended. Because it's pretty good, but not massive. Each of the Massive and PK have one less pellet now, but the damage per pellet has increased, so it's the same max damage, but you'll do more consistently higher damage. And because of that change, the blast pattern of the Peacekeeper has been updated.
I wonder if the blast pattern is
Take a
tighter.
look at the battle pass next, or the map. Alright, let's do the cosmetics and battle pass real quick, and then take a real good look at the map. Firstly, the next collection event will have a Bangalore heirloom recolor. When asked, the devs also stated that new legend specific heirlooms are still coming. The dev team just isn't sure when yet. You can see the Bangalore heirloom recolor has a few new animations that will also be available for the base Bangalore heirloom with this update. Now here's the battle pass. Before I showcase it in detail, everything with a plus icon are rewards exclusive to the $20 premium plus version. So you're basically getting 2 legendary skins and 10 exotic shards for that extra $20 price. Everything else can be unlocked with a standard 950 Apex coins. First 10 rewards. These are a lot faster to unlock than normal rewards. You can see these are universal.
Interface changed a lot,
Anyway,
obviously.
kind of looks like Fuse.
Like this confused me.
Music.
All right, so each one of these little groups over here, the first 10, second 10, third, fourth, all the way up to 60, you get their section of rewards down here. And then rather than having the free tier stuff on top and the like premium level down below, they're kind of mixed in together, but you have free around the ones that are in the free tier, free here, free here. And then as he was saying before, for the $20 version, that's when you get these items that have this little plus right here. So with the $20 version, you get both of these guys. And with the $950 version, you just get this one.
Pack. Shockwave split 1. Interesting. Mode for mute Fuse. Okay.
Some of this stuff looks pretty cool.
Apex coins, Apex pack, and then you get like sort of like 2 variants of the same skin, which is interesting. And then we go through, we get all this stuff. Charms. Not too many charms. Not too many rare skins anymore.
Sorry.
10 exotic shards. And so you actually get like 40 exotic shards per season now, which is pretty decent actually. I think that that's nice. If you're lucky enough to get heirloom shards, it actually almost makes sense to get a customizable heirloom now. We've got this PK skin. Quite nice. Turning to custard. Interesting. And then the battle pass continues from level 40 onwards. For more free rewards. Once again, Loba trackers, but they're for Universal Legends. Okay. Continue. More remotes. A Loba remote. Continue. And then we can see this. And this. So this is like the default one. And this is like the upgraded one, I guess. Honestly, I kind of like this one more. Looks pretty cool. Although, look at that. These got like claws. Oh, wait, what? She's got claws. Look at that. That's really cool. That is a very cool skin. Actually, a nice upgrade. These are like skin variants. Oh, that's actually really cool.
Yeah, a lot of these skins look really cool.
And then
I'm
for
a fan.
these next rewards, it goes through here. In my lane, nice. Rampart skin. Opus coins. Rampart sticker, nice. A altar. That's a very cool
That's
emote.
pretty cool.
Okay. Altar epic skin. Honestly, that is a very cool epic skin. Look at that. Yeah, I feel like the quality of the battle pass has gone up. If they keep it that way, that's great. And then you got the final rewards here for this split one. Look at that. For an epic skin, that's actually really cool. I'm a fan of that. That looks awesome. Yeah, I mean, that's great to see. More crafting and metals and currency. And then you got this P20 reactive skin. First P20 reactive. You can see it in action. One thing I missed with the Battle Pass is the level badges. So you can see them here. The split 1 badge. 60. So you can get to level 60, but if you want to, you can keep going. And then the badge upgrades, which is pretty awesome. If you want to grind out a rare badge, that's actually pretty cool. Ah, this is the normal reward, and this is the Premium Plus reward.
Ah, that's where he's just figured that
And
out.
this is the Premium Plus reward. So the little plus icon is the Premium Plus reward. So these are the bonus items. So if you spend $20 per season, you get this upgraded variant, this upgraded variant, and the exotic shards. Interesting. I'll let you decide how you feel about that one. Another very interesting change is the tracker system. So now...
Okay, so I'm going to let him go ahead and explain all this. I have to say, I don't use the trackers. I kind of like my my card to look kind of like this, kind of anonymous. If you guys are following me, you'll see that every once in a while. The only thing I do put up is my 5 win badge because I'm pretty proud about that. But otherwise, I like to be kind of under the radar.
Now, you can choose firstly the art from any unlocked tracker set, from any legend. So let's take a look. You have all of these trackers from all of the way back to the beginning. Let's say, I don't know, we want to add Mirage, and we want to add this thing, and we want to add this thing. And then you can choose which stats you want to put on those trackers, which is pretty interesting. It allows you to have a lot more creative freedom. You can go for a specific color scheme that you may want, and then focus on which stats you want to put where, and then match it with your banner. I think this is a really nice change. Okay, finally, time for the new map, E-District. This map has the biggest play area of any map yet. The devs said it themselves. It's basically this giant urban city map with multiple layers. Like, every POI has a handful of multi-story zipline buildings. And what I like about that...
So my first impression is not great. They say it's the biggest play area. It all seems very cluttered. Lots of buildings. I don't feel like there's going to be a lot of opportunity for long range shooting, either with marksmen or with snipers. It looks like it's just a massive like mixtape map, you know? So we'll see how that works out.
That is, instead of there being one fragment and one or two zipline buildings that everybody drops at every match, every single location is fragment. And there are
Okay, so the issue with that is the reason fragment is interesting is because everybody drops there, right? If you have fragment buildings everywhere, you're going to land in a fragment building and be all alone. And because everything is so cluttered, you could have a guy in the next building and never know about it. I think it's just kind of diluting the fragment streamer building experience.
like 50 zipline movement buildings. It's absolutely massive in scale, and I honestly have no idea how to showcase it all, and no idea how it's going to play in gameplay, because truthfully, I just didn't have enough time to look at it all, which has never been the case for any previous new map release. So let's just try and run through the different POIs and some notable areas that I really found interesting. Oh, before we get started on the...
So the other thing is, maybe once I get into it, I'll get to know it, but there aren't really any distant landmarks. So knowing, I'm, far away from this mountain range or, that big tower thing or whatever, I think it's going to be a lot harder. I think it's just going to feel like I'm lost for a long time. I'm going to have to play on this map a lot before I get to know it and know, if I go east, I'll run to this place, or west, that place. This may be my least favorite map ever. We'll see.
Locations. Here's the new map toy for E-District. It's like a mini gravity cannon. So there are 17 named locations in E-District, but plenty of larger unnamed areas connecting everything together. My favorite visually has to be Blossom Drive, which is filled with color, and what you'll notice with this location, which is true amongst the rest of the locations actually, is that there are very few reused assets like in previous maps. It feels so
That's good.
brand new.
Everything's
really get
different.
a proper look at Boardwalk, but it looked pretty cool at a distance. Much the same with Resort, unfortunately. And then we have the Lotus, which kind of felt like a bonsai plaza, but with even more buildings, and Nessie floaties. Electro Dam offered some cool ways to get to the center of the map, thanks to a big slope and a gravity cannon. Galleria was this really awesome shopping mall with multiple floors going underground. Heights felt like another multi-layered zipline wonderland with all sorts of interesting fight opportunities. Energy Bank felt like the largest open space in the map and offered some unique angles for fighting. I didn't get a proper look at Stadium, but its layout...
He just called that the largest open space in the map, and all I see is clutter. Like, yeah, how is this open? If I want to get a sniper shot on somebody, they got to peek in this little area right here, And
offered some unique angles for fighting. I didn't get a proper look at Stadium, but its layout kind of reminded me of the old Slum Lake from Kings Canyon. Much the same can be said with Draft Point. And then we have Humbert Labs, which is this massive location with upper levels, rotating areas, and underground tunnels. Old Town was right next to it, but I didn't have a massive chance to look through it. And then Shipyard Arcade is this massive arcade area. Unfortunately, you cannot play on any of the claw machines. Street Market seemed like a very popular location for fighting, and Neon Square was quite a pleasure for the eyes too. This overview doesn't really do the map justice, but truth be told, I just didn't quite have enough time to look around it. Even so, I will be posting more gameplay footage of the map over the coming days on this channel and talking about it on my live stream. So subscribe to this channel and check out my Twitch in the description if you want to hear my in-depth thoughts on Season 22 and everything Apex Legends.
All right, so there we go. I think my general impression is fairly neutral. There are a couple of kind of cool, good things. Caustic Trap change was one that stands out to me. Akimbo, a lot of people are going to like. There's some things I'm not too happy about either. The changes to ranked, the changes to scan beacons. So we'll have to see how it goes. Let me know what you guys think. And definitely follow Gaming Merchant. I'll have a link to his channel and this video in the description.